Hey y'all, my name is Serena and this is Serena's Art Adventures. Welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to compare two different amigurumi kits that I found online. I got one shipped to me from Amazon. It's called the Cookie Box and this one was under $20. I don't remember the exact price, so I'll go ahead and put it on the screen for you guys. This one was about under $20, and these Wooble kits can range between $30 and $40, depending on if it is a character that they had to do a collaboration with, or if it's just one of their original characters. Usually their original characters are a little cheaper, around the $30 mark, and then anything that they collab with is usually about $40 for a kit. Now, I really do like the Woobles. I've done many different Wooble kits before, and today I just kind of wanted to compare what comes in a little bit of a cheaper one versus the Woobles kit, because it looks like this Cookie Box kit has very similar yarn to this one, and I like that they were like both green. So I was like, oh, these would be cute ones to compare against one another. So we're going to go ahead and start off by looking at what comes inside the kit. So here is the Cookie Box, and it's a crochet kit for beginners. I've opened a Woobles kit before, so I want to start right here. As soon as I open the lid, this is what I see. The first thing here is a thank you for picking Cookie Box kits. It looks like they have a few different characters, so this isn't anything proprietary, so I can show you this little card. They have some cute little characters. Personally, my favorite one is still the little turtle, but let me know which one you like the best in the comments below. We've got a cute sticker. I actually really like this sticker. It reminds me of there is a video tutorial. I don't know if this is specifically for if you buy it, so I'm just going to cover up the QR code so that I don't share anything proprietary. Okay, and here we have the yarn. It is tube yarn, beginner friendly. It's by Cookie Box. 68% cotton and 32% nylon. And then we've got, looks like these are very similar, but just barely different. One's like a tan and one's a brown. Then we have cookie crumbs. So I'll go ahead and open this in just a moment. It does look like it comes with a decent quality hook. Now I am seeing here this is a 3mm hook, and I already know that the Woobles kit is a 4mm hook. So there's one of the differences right there, is the size of hook. And then we have some vacuum sealed stuffing, and that is everything. So I'm assuming that the eyes and any other little accessories should be in here. Sorry, I have ADHD and I opened it like a monster, but this is the back of an eye. I'm not quite sure if this is for the back of the eye or what, but we're going to save that. We've got a tapestry needle. We've got, oh, it must be for the back of the eye, because if you look at this eye right here, it's not glittery at all. But if you look at the eye here, it has the glitter. So that little thing, the little glitter sticker thing, must go behind this eye when you go to attach it to give it the glittery eyes. I didn't know that's how they did that, but interesting. Good to know. And then we have another little backer, one stitch marker. Oh, we have another stitch marker, another eye, stitch marker, and then this is the other thing for the other back of the eye. And two pink stitch markers and a green stitch marker. And that is everything from inside this little kit. So we have all these little gadgets and doodads. The eyes, the back of the eyes, a little glitter, and 3 stitch markers, and a tapestry needle. Then we have our little crochet hook. I love that the crochet hook kind of matches the outside of the box here. And then we have 3 things of yarn. So that's everything that we need to make this little guy, and then we get a bonus little sticker. So that's what comes in here. Now let's go ahead and do a unboxing of the Woobles kit as well. This I had to open first so that I could peek in here with you, but as soon as you open the bag, the first thing that you see is, again, the yarn. I really like this color of green. That's really neat. And then brown. It's interesting how you can use the same color of yarn, or similar colors anyway, and get like such different results between the two of them. Like you can use it to make something like this or something a little spookier. Really, really cool. But yeah, we have some green and some brown in this one as well. And then also some gray for the little, I don't know if you can see them very well, but these little nuts on the side of his head. So after we get the yarn out, I see there looks like to be 3 stitch markers, some stuffing, instructions, and a crochet hook. This is such a cute. I didn't know I was gonna get like a personalized Frankenstein one. Oh, I wish I used a 4mm hook for anything other than like amigurumi. I don't use a 4mm hook very often, but these are so cute, and I love the ergonomic handles. Both kits have these really neat ergonomic handles. So this is the wee woobly bits. There's some little pieces and parts in here that we'll go ahead and open here in just a moment. But I'm not going to show you the QR code, but there's a side with a QR code and the side with the little Frankenstein. So I'll show you that in just a moment, and we'll see what he's named also. All right, and then of course we have to have the black for his shirt and his hair. So we've got all those, and then this. So that is one of the big differences. This little cookie box character comes with 3 colors of yarn, and the Woobles is a little bit more detailed. This one specifically, anyway, I've seen Woobles with like less colors, but yeah, this one has 5 different colors of yarn, so a little bit more detailed here. And then this one doesn't have the stuffing quite as vacuum packed, but this does fluff up once you open this too, so it is a good amount of stuffing in here. So with the Woobles kit, if you don't already know how to crochet, this is a very beginner friendly kit because it starts the magic circle for you. And when it comes to starting your next magic circle, they do have a really good in-depth tutorial. I've done Woobles kits before and I've seen their tutorials, so I already know they have really good instructions. So these are great and they're really well detailed. You will have to start another magic ring when it comes to like the hands and these bolts and stuff. I'm sure you'll have to have a magic ring for that. So this is everything that came in with Steve. Steve is our little Frankenstein guy here. This is such a cute little character. I love it. But this is what comes in there. So you have your embroidery thread for the little details that you're going to sew in, like the mouth and stuff like that. The one thing I do like about the Woobles kit is they always give you extra eyes. So now I just have some extra eyes chilling in my backpack with some of my spare Woobles yarn from previous projects. And so I'll save this extra eye as well. But this is just in case it breaks. That is really nice. As far as like materials are concerned, they're really pretty even. I do think this adds a little bit of value to the kit. These are more spendy than this, so I really do hope this is a good alternative. I really do hope I end up liking this one as much as I like the Woobles, because I already know I like the Woobles. It just is very spendy. So I decided to put the tutorial on a big screen, and for beginners, I would highly recommend that, making it very easy for me to see while I'm working. It almost looks like the same size in my hand that it does on the screen. It's fantastic. They go very slow and they work each stitch with you, which is fantastic. I really like the way they do this tutorial. They also have little dots for you to follow for each different step. So if you finish a row early and you want to move on, you can move on to the next dot. So that's really cool. I usually don't love following video tutorial patterns. I usually prefer to follow patterns that have like written so that I can watch stuff in the background. But this one is really well done, really good for beginners so far. I do really like the stitch definition and how easy it is to see your stitches with this yarn. This stitch definition is very nice. The cookie box kit yarn and the Woobles yarn both have stuffing on the inside. Okay, y'all, we are back and we have our 2 little creatures here. The turtle from the cookie box and the Frankenstein from the Woobles kit. Now, I definitely want to say I think both of these turned out absolutely adorable. I did notice that the yarns were quite similar, but even in touching the 2 side by side, I will say that the yarn from the Woobles kit is a little bit softer, and I kind of like the feel of the Woobles yarn a little bit better than the feel of the cookie box yarn. So there is at least a little bit of upgraded materials when it comes to the Woobles kit. I know that these little tin boxes aren't a big cost, but I do like the tin box that this comes in, because then I can store all my stuff in this little tin box. And the little tin box actually is full of some extra stuffing from my little turtle. I didn't have any extra stuffing at all from the Frankenstein, which is odd. Normally when I do a Woobles kit, I do have extra stuffing, but I had the perfect amount for this little critter. So that worked out really well. I didn't need any more than what I have. I'm happy with the way that this one is stuffed, but I did have a good amount left over from the little turtle. I have yarn left over from both of the kits as well, a decent amount. And between this and the Woobles kit that I got last year for Christmas, I can take all of these yarns and mishmash them together and make a couple extra little cute creatures or critters, I'm sure. So the yarn needle for the Woobles kit was a little bit thicker than the yarn needle for this kit, but they were pretty similar. I wouldn't notice a big difference in the yarn needle that came in the two, but I did notice a big difference in the two hooks. The Woobles hook is a little bit thicker compared to the cookie box hook, and the cookie box hook comes with a 3mm hook, while the Woobles kit comes with a 4mm hook. And because of that, I did have a little bit more strain on my wrist and hand when I was crocheting the one with the cookie box. And since I made them both within the same day, I think it was more noticeable. Luckily for me, I started with the turtle and I moved over to the Frankenstein, so my hand got a little bit of a break by the time I got to the Frankenstein. Now, amigurumi and working with small hooks in general does kind of hurt my hands. I'm usually a furls crochet hook girly, and I crochet with a nice thick hook on a typical basis, but that's because I like to spoil myself with my tools. These hooks are not bad at all. I do prefer the Woobles hook. I did notice with this cheap hook, it kind of also bends a little bit more than the Woobles one. I think that just the Woobles hook is a little bit better quality. The Woobles yarn is a little bit better quality, okay? So when we're talking about quality of materials, even the stuffing from the Woobles was a little softer than the stuffing from the cookie box. So I just kind of want to get all that out there, that in general, I think the Woobles kit is better quality materials when it comes to the yarn, the stuffing, and the hook that comes with it. Now, if the hook doesn't matter much to you, or maybe you're going to use one of your own hooks, then this is still a great kit. The yarn is not quite as soft, but it still has great stitch definition, and it is fairly easy to work with. I think you could probably crochet this little turtle with a 4mm hook as well. These did come out to be fairly the same size. They might have, it kind of seems like they tried to copy the Woobles in certain ways, having instructional videos and a PDF file with just the pattern on it and stuff like that. They do market this as a crochet kit for beginners, and this one is a crochet kit for beginners as well. Now, this one is under $20. I had a $20 gift card. I got this with my $20 gift card. And this one is more like $30 to $40. I think $35 for this one is how much I spent. So this one is almost double the cost. So I'm very happy to know that at least if this one's going to be double the cost, it does have better quality materials on it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this kit. This kit is adorable. It comes with a little tin, and it has everything you need to crochet this guy. And as far as calling these for beginners, the Woobles has great instructions. They take it chunk by chunk, step by step, where you follow one piece of a step and then you hit the next button, and then it shows you the next part of the step when you're ready. With this one, it was more of a video, and if you wanted to pause it, you had to go and pause the video. And there were tabs. So basically, if you would fall behind or get ahead in the pattern, you could kind of move to that section of the video fairly easily, since it had little circles indicating where the next part of the instructions were. So I let the video play while I made this so that I could hear the instructions and kind of see how easy it would be to follow along for a beginner. And this right here is a great beginner kit. This cookie box kit actually did surprise me. I didn't have the highest of hopes for it because I've tried a lot of crochet kits. Some of them I'll try like under $10 and stuff. So this one is still a more expensive kit, but it is just as good, in my opinion, as the Woobles kit, with the exception of a little bit better quality materials over here. But I mean, if you're getting something for somebody for their birthday, maybe you have a $20 budget, this is great. If you yourself want to keep it a little bit cheaper, but you really want to check out something similar to the Woobles, this right here is a great option. I love that we're coming out with these kits for beginners that are actually beginner friendly, and I love that we have a cheap option and a expensive option. So what I would say is, if cost doesn't matter to you, the Woobles has tons of options. They've got sea critters and Beetlejuice and They have a Christmas one, a Halloween box, and they do all kinds of really fun collaborations. They even have some like Pac-Man and stuff like that. So if the critter that you're actually crocheting is super important to you and you want like one of those collaborations, I definitely think the Woobles kits are worth it. It might be a hot take. It might be a hot take because I feel like a lot of people really feel like these are overpriced. I personally, with how well detailed the instructions are, I always have extra supplies. If you get enough of these little kits, you really can start crocheting. Like if you had 2 kits, you could probably still make 3 little characters, right? You might have to be a little bit more creative on your 3rd character, but you totally could because they have extra eyes and usually extra stuffing and extra yarn. So that is really great. That's one thing I wanted to test with the cookie box kit. I always wonder if the kit is going to come with enough yarn because I have gotten kits before where you don't have enough of the material that you need. So this one has enough, and I had extra yarn left over where if I got 2 of these little cookie box critters, I'd probably have enough to crochet 3 as far as the yarn goes, but it only comes with a set of 2 eyes. So that's the exception. I really kind of like the eyes in the cookie box better than the eyes in the Frankenstein one, but the Frankenstein one is still my favorite because he's Halloweeny and I love Halloween. But either way, I absolutely love the way that this little backpack fits on him, and the way that they have you crochet this little backpack on is much different than I would have thought. I had a really great time crocheting both of these. This kit has surprised me. I would actually recommend this kit for a beginner crocheter, especially if you're a beginner crocheter that has a budget of like under $20 for a crochet kit. And you get this cute little keepsake box. If you don't love the design on it, you could always like paint the tin box and kind of make it into whatever you want to make it. But I love that it has a tin box that matches the little critter, and you can put all of your leftover supplies and materials in this tin for another time or until you get enough materials built up, and then you can crochet more stuff. I do kind of like, after I got this cookie box and then I went to the Woobles kit, I had some stuff laid out on this crocheted blanket, and I was like, I kind of wish that this one had a tin. So I ended up putting all of my supplies in this little tin, in the cookie box tin from the Woobles kit, and I just kind of interchanged both of the stitch markers and stuff like that. And the darning needles, I started to just use both for both of these. But yeah, either way, I think both kits are worth it. I think both kits are super fun and make a super cute thing, and you have enough materials plus extra to go around with both of these kits. So my honest opinion is I love them both. I do wish that they would be a little cheaper. I think that the Woobles kits, all of them used to be around $40, and I've been seeing some of their like Pierre and some of their original characters more like $30 on their website recently. So they are kind of becoming more competitive with their pricing, because like with this one being around 20 and then this one being around 30, kind of depends on what you're looking for, right? But they're both great. Like, I'm surprised. I had a great experience. I don't have anything bad to say about either kit. It's just whether or not you think the kit is worth it at the price point that they have it, based on what little finished critter you want to have. So I would love it if you would tell me which one of these cute little critters is your favorite. You know my favorite, but which one is your favorite? I'd love to know. And as always, I just want to say thank you so much for sticking around in today's video to see these 2 kits compared to each other. I hope you enjoyed the video today, and I would appreciate it if you would like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those fun things. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified anytime I come out with a new video. And thank you so very much for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day.